Okay, she's not over here. I don't like the darkness. Okay, I'm gonna go to this corner. Before I vienen las manos, güey. This is like going to conventions at PAX. You got all of the fans like, what's up, Eddie? Hey, what's up? Sanitize yourself first before you give me a high five, please. Échate hand sanitizer. Ahora sí, güey. High five, what's up? What's up, dog? High five, high five, high five. And high five to you. Oh shit, cálmate, güey. High five, high five. Okay. Sanitize before you touch me, please, cabrones. Échate. Ay, güey, me agarraron la cara. Don't touch my...
For over 30 years, Rest has been looking after hard-working Australians and their super, making sure our profit.
My face, perro. Okay. Hello? Oh, some bitch about to come out right here, isn't it? Oh, I did find. I don't know what you said. I just found, but I found. I swear I found. No. De aquí me va a salir un demonio. Okay, I know there's demons and shit, but it's gonna come out. Ya te vi, pendejo. Ahora sí, güey. Ahora sí, I'm about to cleanse your ass. Desde aquí, güey. Grenade! Oh! Okay, I'll get you from here. Long range grenade. Get out of my way. Okay, ready? Backhand grenade. Oh! Ándale, los huevos. Here we go. With the Jesus. Ah, it's vibrating. Hell yeah. Ahora sí, güey. Vete, demonio. Get it out of here. Look, get all the hands. Get all of it. Wait, what? We're doing Kamehameha, güey. Con el poder de Goku. Te voy a echar el Kamehameha, perra. Ándale, güey. Kamehameha, puta. Ándale, se te quite, güey. Holy shit. Don't smile on that bitch. What was that? Get your spray out. Get your spray out. Here he comes. Get your spray. Échale, güey. Échale, fleet. Spray that bitch. Got him. I got him. Oh, I think it's done. Throw it out. In slow motion. Échale agua bendita, sí. A los cuernos también. Get the moons. Shine some light at it. You go throw the light at it too. There you go. Do everything. That's what you get. You don't with the Mexican exorcist, Eddie. She was used by Ronove to take souls. Who's Ronove? That sounds like a makeup brand. Lucy was free of evil.
Down 5-13. Y'all seen the title, man. Let's get it, man. Let's get straight to the game, man. Let's get it cracking, man. I had to change my shirt real quick, man. The other shirt was too heavy. But anyway, man, let's get into this game, man. So how do I get in the car, bro? Let's get it, man. Look at this Crystal Lake. Fuck Crystal Lake. You know what I'm saying? I got my girl in the front seat, man. You know what I'm saying? You think that mad? Money got long, and she gonna be there. Oh, she crashed, bro. Come on now. You gotta be able to drive, man. I thought you had to do a license. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? Dang, man.
That's my Instagram post. I wear them right to that.
Yo, why is he talking like this, bro? He's talking like Stevie J, bro. He's on like Stevie J. Yo, why is he talking? That nigga need to stop yelling in his house before he gets you, man. Yeah, pull it out. Oh, shit! Somebody leave first. Somebody leave first. Somebody leave first. Go ahead, go ahead, man. This nigga's right outside the door, bro. Oh, hell nah, man. Yeah, wow. Yo, whoever scream like that, man, need to delete their Xbox account right now. Oh, I'm not following you, man. Dang, stop following me, boy. Nigga Jason up in here, man. I got a call this shit. Oh my God. Oh, yo ass. Wow. Oh, look at this.
I worship a millionaire as one of my own, okay? Don't judge me.
Everything should go according to plan, you know what I'm saying?
You sound so confident, I don't think anything could go wrong.
Screaming pain.
This video is sponsored by Atlas Uprising. If you enjoyed the video, check them out in the SCP section on Gmod. I used to play on their Star Wars RP server when they went by Soul Networks. And when they told me that they were opening an SCP server, I immediately jumped on board because I have a blast with their community every single time I join. So check them out. There's a link to their Discord in the description. Now let's get on to the video. What's up, Doug? Quack, quack. Am I right, Doug? Quickity, quack, quack, Doug. This guy gets it. I want to hear your quack, boy. Oh, hey, what's up, Lucas? Hey, wait, come back, my one friend.
Something's gonna happen in a little bit.
Something's gonna happen in a little bit, they say. I'll be shiggy.
And I'll be wiggy.
Yours is a little more racist. Yours has 2 G's. Oh, wait, mine has 2 G's. 2 G's is racist. You know what I mean?
8.
Hey.
You guys were given some shiny new armor. I need you to try it out. I have security guard armor. I need you guys to try it out.
Yeah, we can do that. I think that was security got whitelisted.
Oh my God, what the heck?
Alright, make sure to activate your radio. Look, there's a little clip art of a radio next to it. Here, I gotta test my gun.
Wait, listen. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm just
Oh my
testing
God.
my gun. I'm just testing my gun. I'm sorry. Ow! Don't hit me with that.
Okay, I need you guys to understand something. Okay, you walk with me, huh? Come here, walk with me. All right, come on.
Is it just me or are there guns coming out of their dicks?
They are.
Come on. Follow me, all right, man?
Shorkalo.
Shorkalo? That sounds racist too.
Just put the gun down, all right? You're gonna shoot my dick off.
Oh, sorry. How do I'll just... There you go.
Okay, that's good. All right. So we're currently going to go up to a briefing room. We're going to talk to you about a couple things.
Elevator's out of commission right now. We gotta go this way.
I capiche your capiche.
You know what, Mr. Caboose? You know, you and I remember connecting back in New York. You know, you and I, it was pretty cool. Well, yeah, how's your mother doing, huh? How's your mother doing? You tell me, huh?
Whoa, it's getting really romantic, Caboose. Do you guys go way back?
Hold up down here, huh?
Sorry about that. We're going to be moving up, all right? After you, please.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, alright. Well, what's up, guys? How's it going in here?
All right, upstairs, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You see what's on the screen right now?
Black. I see black.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We forgot to pay the electricity bills, all right? We don't have cable in this area, all right? It would give out, it would obviously give out our location, so, we got the site director. I'm in charge. My name is Security Chief, right? We're a hidden, location out fucking Louisiana, all right? That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Chief, detective of drugs. We're in Chicago. We're in the outskirts of Chicago. That's where we are.
All right, I guess we're out in Chicago. Listen, I'm not briefing too well on the situation. Long story short, I'm guessing you guys were trained and sent here, in order to assist us. We try to do this with every trainee. Right, man? We do this with everyone, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Long story short, all right, your job is going to be to defend this entire area. There was an SCP yesterday that was sent out to another location, well, he's being sent back. He's kind of like this big fucking lizard, all right? He scares the shit out of me, but today we're going to be sending him back, and he's hopefully going to be very cooperative, you know? You know what I mean. Capiche?
Mostly capiche. Does he have a power? Does he have like one of them powers like some of them SCPs have?
I mean, he'll eat your ass.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll literally eat it. I'm not even joking.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody good time. Oh my God, he ate my bambino the other night. It was a...
What did you say?
Hey, who's knocking on the door, huh? Who's knocking on the door?
Oh, it's
Who's knocking on the fucking door?
Jesus.
What do you need? I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm sorry, I'm late.
Ladies, gentlemen, you're gonna have to outskirts. You know how it is. I think you would. That's scary.
Capiche?
No, it's not scary. Don't worry about it. All right, come on. Are you making fun of my capiche?
No, I like your capiche. I'm trying to adapt your capiche into my talk. Capiche?
Yeah, capiche. Yeah, capiche. Let's move on now. Yeah, from the garage. Garage. Yeah, all right. We're just gonna go around the roof real quick. It's gonna be quick. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Whoa, that sounded a little orgasmic for him.
Yeah, well,
It's a bit of an update for the chief. It's a bit of an update. He had a lot of
How about the fifth?
Sir, why do you look like Amelia Earhart?
You know, I worship a millionaire as one of my own. Okay, don't judge me.
Correct.
A few days later, my sister was okay enough to come home from the hospital, but she had to stay in her room again until she was fully recovered. I can't stay in here. Tom might take me away. I haven't fed him in over a week. But my mom ignored her complaining and locked her in her room for the rest of the day. Later that night, my mom went to check on Amelia. She wanted to apologize for being so cruel earlier. But when my mom opened the room, Amelia wasn't there. She checked the closet, underneath the bed. There was no sign of Amelia anywhere. Mom called the police and waited in the living room. Mom, you don't think that... Elizabeth, please. Not now. The police inspected our house and said they couldn't find any signs of anyone breaking in or running away. But they were going to continue looking for Amelia. My mom left the house shortly after that. She said she needed some fresh air. She told me to stay home until she got back. So I stayed in my room until night. And when I was about ready to go to bed, I heard something coming from my sister's room. I opened the door and found my mom on the floor, in tears, surrounded by dozens of honeybees. She was calling underneath the bed. Please, I just want her back. Please just give her back. Please, Tom. Jeannie and her daughter, Azura, used to live in Brazil with the rest of their extended family. Azura was a bright little girl who was always happy and energetic and had no trouble making friends. But when she turned 7, something changed. She was no longer interested in playing with her friends and became cold and distant to everyone, including her mother. Azura would curl up in her bedroom alone, and Jeannie would overhear her talking to herself for hours. Jeannie thought Azura might be going through a phase and invented an imaginary friend for herself. But Azura's grandmother thought otherwise. That's because one night, Azura's grandmother walked by the bedroom where Azura was talking to herself. She stopped in the doorway and looked into the room and screamed. Azura turned and hissed at her grandma like a rabid animal and crouched on all fours, growling deeply. Her grandmother ran out of the room and locked the door from the outside. Jeannie, you have to call the priest now. There is a demon in this house. Jeannie is not a religious woman. She thought her mother was being a little dramatic, but nevertheless, she called the priest to come over to the house. He arrived the next morning, and the grandmother explained what she saw. There was a demon with big bat wings and cloven hooves. Its skin was dark and scaly, and its hands had giant talons. Jeannie just snickered at this description. The grandmother unlocked the door, and there was Azura, crying hysterically. Don't go! Don't go! Please don't go! No, please don't go! Don't go! Don't go! Don't go! Please don't go! The moment he saw this, the priest dropped his Bible and rosary and closed the door. That's no demon. That's a mancha chico. A what? It is a creature that is born from a demon and cursed without love. They seek out mortals to love them and attach themselves to those who show them kindness. Genie laughed. This was absolutely ridiculous. When they fall in love with a human, they truly care for them and keep them safe, but for a price. In return for their devotion, the Mancha Chico will gain possession of the human soul in the afterlife. We have to save her. The priest re-entered the bedroom and said a prayer. When he came out of the room, Genie saw Azura sleeping peacefully in her bed. A few days later, Genie was about to run some errands, and Azura stopped her. Don't leave. But sweetie, I need to buy us some. Please. Genie was a little freaked out by how sincere her daughter was, so she stayed home. Later that day, when they were watching the news, they learned that there was an active shooter at the nearby mall. The mall that Genie was going to go to. Why did you make me stay home? Lisa told me to tell you. He doesn't want me to be sad, so he will help me keep you safe. There were multiple instances like this when Azura would tell her mother to avoid a certain area, only to later discover that it could have saved her life. And Genie wasn't the only one who was experiencing good luck. Azura's school bullies had stopped picking on her and began apologizing to her and giving her gifts. Azura was hit by a car on the sidewalk and thrown into a gutter, but walked away without a scratch. Azura's little sister was diagnosed with a terrible skin disease, only to have it completely healed a few weeks later. To Genie, it was all just good luck. But according to Azura, this was all because of Chorizo, her demon. Years had gone by, and Azura was now 15 years old. Genie found it a little odd that her daughter had never talked about any school crushes or shown any interest in dating, so she decided to talk to her daughter. You know, when I was your age, I couldn't stop talking about boys. Is there anyone you like at your school? You can tell me. I have Chorizo. He says I'm his one and only, and it'd be wrong to leave him when he's been so good to me. Hasn't he been good to us, Mama? Genie did not like that response. She thought that her daughter had finally grown out of this ridiculous phase, and she couldn't stand these lies anymore. Enough, Azura, enough with Chorizo. He isn't real. I don't ever want to hear about Chorizo again. You understand? Genie stormed out of the room, leaving Azura in tears. After she had cooled down, Genie decided to apologize to her daughter. She entered her bedroom and froze. There was Azura, curled up on her bed, but in the lap of a giant human. He looked just as Azura's grandmother had described years ago. Genie couldn't believe what she saw. But there he was. Chorizo was real. Azura is now 22 years old and only occasionally mentions Chorizo. And Genie will remind her that Chorizo plans to take her soul in the afterlife. And you're okay with that? Of course. Hasn't he been good to us, Mama? A very special thank you to Genie, Azura, and Chorizo, who, according to Azura, is a family child. Basu was 18 when he was sent for 2 years of military service starting in 1982. He was dispatched to a border post along the defensive line between Bulgaria and Turkey. His job was border guard, and his main duty was to patrol the electrified border fence. Mostly, it was to make sure nobody left the country during a time of severe restriction of movement due to communist government. His orders were to shoot on sight. One night, he and his best friend Ivan were patrolling the borders until with his dog. Ivan was a far senior soldier, much larger and stronger than Basil, with a kind of look only veteran soldiers had. He described the night as still and cold, and the moon shone through the clear sky during the night. There was a light breeze that whistled faintly across the open plains between the two borders. All was well and normal, and their routine patrol was near their end. Much like most days, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, and the two men started to make their way back to the camp. They were almost back to base when, all of a sudden, Ivan stopped. He turned his head to the darkness. Do you see that? Basil stopped to listen and his eyes widened as he heard what it sounded like. Singing. The two men listened and listened, and continued and continued, and seemingly became louder. Basil stood still, yearning to know who was speaking so closely. Then, the dog started to growl. Softly at first, until it started barking furiously as the singing came closer and closer. Ivan grabbed Basil. "Listen to me very carefully," he said. "I need you to run back to checkpoint B, get on the radio, and call for reinforcements. Tell them code siren. They'll know what you mean." "What? Why? Do as I say. Do you understand?" "All this over some singing? This isn't the Turks or the Americans. This is much more serious than that. Now go!" By this time, the singing had become so loud it was almost unnerving, as if the source was as close as a few meters away. Basil looked around in panic, gripping his rifle in fear and confusion. Basil started to run. He knew that the checkpoint was less than a kilometer away, and that he could make it there in a few minutes if he really ran for it. Behind him, he heard the barking and the growling of their dog change into whimpers and cries, which was followed by bursts of automatic fire that ripped through the night air. The fire sustained until he had finally reached the radio at the checkpoint. "Checkpoint B to base? Checkpoint B to base. We have a situation here. Code siren. I repeat, code siren. Requesting immediate reinforcements. Over."
Base to checkpoint B. Reinforcements are inbound. What is your status update? Over.
As the response came, the gunfire continued, followed by a scream, as if from a young woman in pain. Basil stood petrified, his hands trembling. I don't know. My comrade is currently engaging. I don't know what's going on." He shouted into the radio, desperately hoping for some help. A cracked response from the radio came. Basil struggled to make out the words as the gunfire continued on in the distance. Then, a man screamed, and the gunfire stopped. Total silence, as the broken message of the radio became nothing but static. Basil began to panic, wondering whether to help Ivan or to wait for reinforcements. He stood there and listened carefully, but nothing, only silence. And suddenly, the singing. The most beautiful sound he's ever heard in his life. Basil jumped, shouldering his rifle and aiming into the darkness. Frantically, he aimed his rifle in different directions as the singing grew louder and louder. His breathing became faster and disjointed. His heart pounded like a drum. The singing came closer and closer, filling his eardrums until nothing. Silence again. He looked around and listened, trying to see or hear anything he could. And he saw it. A woman with blonde hair that glistened under the moonlight, wearing a white dress, stood no less than 300 meters in front of him. She was unbelievably beautiful. Basil flinched, bending down on one knee and aiming his rifle. The woman remained still, evidently not fazed by his threat. "Hey, you! Stop there or I'll shoot!" No response. He wondered, why would she be here? By herself, on the border? Is she a spy? Or a defector? Maybe I should go over there and talk to her. No! He re-aimed his rifle. Her eyes glowed in the shadows like a cat's in the night. The eerie yellow hue was so terrifying. No worrying. Maybe she needs my help. "No!" He shouted at her. "Last chance! You surrender or you die!" Again, no response. He opened fire. A full magazine later, and the woman was lying on the floor, dead. He went to examine the corpse just as reinforcements turned up. But when he got up close, there was no body. No blood trails, no drag marks, nothing. Where did she go? Neither Ivan's nor the dog's bodies were ever found. What was found were bullet casings and Ivan's rifle left behind. The next morning, Basil told his mother about what had happened. She gave him a tight hug. "You know how much danger you were in? You encountered the Son of David." According to his mother, they are ancient Hebrew names that seduce men with enticing singing voices. Once they lock them in a trance, they take them away as slaves and torture them to death. Had it not been for Ivan, You would not have lived to tell this tale. I'm so happy you're safe.
Looking for your next investment? Broaden your horizons. Commercial property.
You want more something scary? You can listen to the extended version of this episode over at Apple Podcasts. The link is in the description below. Like and share this video.
You're watching this, I'm your host Eamon Hassan, and welcome back to another video here, Most Amazing Top 10. The windows are honestly great. They let in the natural light. You can stare out of them on a rainy day, feeling melancholy. Really, they're just quite versatile. But they can also show you things you don't want to see, or on the other end, let other people see you even when you don't want them to. But anyway, this is the top 10 scary windows that should never be looked into. Starting us off at number 10 is The Murderer. I know you're probably like, this video is literally about windows. How did she manage to bring in murderers? Well, that is the skill of Eamon. But back to the story. Back in 2014, Michelle Widowinter moved into a new house with her 2-year-old daughter. She went outside to snap a photo of the great brickwork, as any new excited homeowner would, and something jumped out at her. In her front window, she saw a face and hands so clearly, she actually ran back into the house to make sure no one was in there with her daughter. Like, the face is so clear, you guys, it's actually scary. After examining it, she took to Facebook to see if anyone else had any idea. Many said it was a reflection of the flowers outside, but the angles just didn't make sense. The same morning she took the photo, a clock that was on the wall randomly fell off and smashed into a billion pieces. Not a billion, that was an exaggeration, but it's fine. As a non-believer of ghosts, after seeing the photo and then remembering the clock, it really creeped her out. And then other things started happening. Her friend saw a door handle move.
Ours is a world on demand. So why should the way we study be any different?
And the door opened in the same room that the face was in. A historian named Andrew Jones studied the photo and said that the man was Old Man Kent, an original suspect for the 1860 Road Hill house murder. He very much believed it was that man's spirit haunting the house, and it really looks like him too. Coming in at number 9 is the parsonage. Why are ghosts attracted to holy places? It's just beyond coincidental at this point. There has to be a reason. But anyway, back in October of 2015, ghost hunters and paranormal experts alike were baffled by a figure in a window. Said picture was taken by Paul Securo, who was just taking a picture of his mother's house, which is also a former parsonage. His mother is the only person that lives in the house here. When he saw the picture on the computer, he saw a horrifying apparition in one of the front windows. The thing looks like a small child with ashy, corpse-looking skin. Paul continued saying they've actually experienced bizarre things in the house, and so did the former owner. Paranormal investigators confirmed the picture was genuine and untouched, which baffled people even more. Upon further investigation, they identified several other spirits in the photo. Either way, the child looks like a creep, and considering the family has lived in the house for 15 years, I'm just here wondering how long that child's been lurking in the house as well. At number 8, we have The Tapping. That sounds like a discounted The Shining. But anyway, Josh was in his bedroom doing mundane things, chilling on his laptop, eating, etc. And by 2 a.m., everyone in the house was asleep other than him. He heard a noise at his window, and it was a weird thumping sound. He never heard the sound before, but the sound continued and became almost rhythmic, and it lasted a total of 15 seconds. He shrugged it off, thinking it was nothing, and then fell asleep. The next morning when he woke up, the sound was still on his mind. He walked to his window and tried to replicate the sound. He tapped it, hit it with different objects, but the sound just wasn't the same. Unsatisfied, but also now bored, he just let it go. That evening when his dad came back from work, he felt stuffy in the house and decided to open some windows. He went to Josh's window and he forgot to unlock the window before opening it, so when he pulled it up, it made the exact same sound Josh had heard the night before. And the window only had handles on the inside, so whatever he heard, whoever made the sound, they were inside his room, not outside. Filling our number 7 slot is The Elderly Woman. This one's from Mystic Gypsy 1976, who moved into a new home with her spouse Charlie. But soon after moving in, they realized they were very much not alone. One day, Charlie was upstairs in bed while the user was downstairs watching TV. He rushed down asking if she'd been in the bedroom, and she said no, I was just watching TV. He started panicking and saying he had been in bed, but someone pushed the blanket from his feet and a cold hand caressed his his foot. They moved the bed to a different room, but the activity still continued. Footsteps could be heard going up and down the stairs, dark-bodied figures would just walk by their bedroom and then vanish, pots and pans would spin on their own, and knife was even thrown across the kitchen by an unseen force. One day when things got too much, they decided to take a breather outside their home and looked up to see an elderly woman staring at them. Her story is utterly tragic, for never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo. Yes, as a drama student, we pretty much had to memorize that in year 11. But anyway, Elsa was in love with a British soldier who her father banned her from dating. Heartbroken, the soldier hung himself from an oak tree near their manor, and she died soon after, apparently from a broken heart. These days, the restaurant sees pots flying off their hooks, lights turning on and off out of nowhere. Most guests claim to have seen the haunting figure of a woman standing in one of the manor windows, as well as the outline of a young man staring back up at the house. In future events, in respect of the couple, the restaurant sometimes lays out a table with food and wine for them, and everyone says you can sense them there, enjoying their wine, their food. I don't know how ghosts can enjoy wine and food, but I'm happy they're happy. And finally, at number 1 is Sarah. This one's from Anonymous, who said he had the upstairs bedroom of his house, and one day he saw his neighbors moving in next door. The house next to him had a window right opposite his, and in there he saw a girl about his age. She motioned for him to open the window, and assuming she was the neighbor's daughter, he opened it. They introduced themselves, hi I'm Sarah, hi I'm Sam, and she told him to keep his window open. Confused, he still listened to her regardless, and she threw a paper airplane into his window. When he opened it, it said, "Hey Sam, I'll come over tonight and introduce myself." Again, confused, he didn't know what she meant, even though that was pretty straightforward, Sam. He was about to toss the plane back, but the girl had disappeared. That night, his mum told him the neighbors were coming over for dinner, so he eased up when he realized Sarah was just talking about coming over for dinner with her parents. But when he went downstairs, Sarah wasn't there. He asked her parents where she was, and the dad said, "Excuse me?" He probed and said, "Sarah, your daughter, where is she?" Her mother fought back tears as she said our daughter died a year ago in an accident. Appalled and distraught, the neighbors left straight away, and the boy's own parents berated him for making a scene. When he got to his room, another airplane came through his window, and he saw Sarah staring in through her room. She came closer so he could see her face, and the airplane message said, "Behind you." The lights went off, the floorboards creaked, and all he heard was someone whispering Sam in his ear. Shudders. And that's it for today's video, guys. Wow, my apartment has floor-length windows.
House in Venice. Could you tell me a little more about your first memories there?
Crystal, I've been answering your questions this whole time. We should switch out, yes?
Sure. Is there something you'd like to ask?
I was wondering, has my request been fulfilled? I've been waiting ever so patiently.
I'm sorry, 035, but you'll know we can't allow you to possess 682 or 4715. They're regenerative.
At Rest, we're making super simple. With just one click, our super simple app makes it a whole lot easier for you to manage your money. It's part of our commitment to you.
Qualities would practically make you invincible.
Precisely. You just become so dull and to be stationed in one area. I prefer a live host.
Yeah! No. After all those attempted escapes, the higher-ups have decided you will no longer be allowed any more hosts.
Is that so?
Yes. How does that make you feel?
Well, to be quite honest, it saddens me. I really do enjoy your company, Crystal. When is our last discussion? I want it to be extra special.
Our last discussion ended just now. So if you'll excuse me, I have to document this.
Does it not make you at least a little melancholic that our friendship would come to an end?
Not in the slightest. I know you're just trying to manipulate me so you can escape.
But Crystal, I feel as though we were somehow destined to be united as one. I will miss you. I did wish our conversations were longer.
I do gotta admit, SCP-035, you are a chatty one. But it was interesting getting to know your history. 035. I guess this is goodbye, 035.
035. I feel like I've heard of that one before. That's the mask one, isn't it?
That is correct. 035 is to be contained within its glass case and changed out every 2 weeks. You guys are to make sure no one is to walk in unless scheduled to.
Sounds easy enough.
Great. Seth, you'll be guarding the inside of the containment room. Todd, you'll be outside. Got it?
Tommy, sir, sorry for asking, but I'm a little nervous with this being my 4th bango. Do you think I can guard the outside instead?
If it's alright with Todd, then I have no problem with it.
Hey, it's all the same to me. Just standing around and all.
Perfect. Then it's settled. You guys can head on to your stations. You should know the halls by now.
Alright, thanks for the help, Tommy.
See you later.
Phew. Man. All this training is exhausting.
Hey, Tommy, how's the training going?
Oh, the new guards are great. I heard you'll be training some of the new people as well?
Sort of. Later this week I'll be giving a tour to one of the new scientists.
Wow. It's crazy, isn't it? A lot of the staff had to be replaced due to that incident with Dr. Clough.
Yeah, it's been a week, but the Foundation does move fast.
Oh, speaking of scientists, have you gotten a chance to talk with Dr. Iceberg? How's he doing?
Yeah, we try to talk as much as we can. He says he and Dr. Gear seem to be getting along well at the new site he's in.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad he's not alone.
Same. So, how are you, Tommy?
Honestly, I'm kind of tired. Wish my break was a little longer.
Oh no. Was it because I made you watch anime all night?
No, of course not. I had a great night. I also really enjoyed reading those Japanese comics. I just don't understand why all the books are backwards.
Tommy! They're called manga, and that's just how all Japanese books are.
I'm kidding, Ruby. I guess I'm just exhausted from all this extra work we've been having to do. Can't wait for this training to be over.
Oh, well, you should get an early rest tonight. We don't have to be together all the time.
I was actually thinking the opposite. Ruby, we've been dating for 2 weeks now, and... Huh? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just get really excited knowing that you saying that we're dating isn't a dream anymore. And yes, I'm not dreams of you saying that. Go on.
Oh, well, I noticed we haven't really gone on a proper date, and I'd like to take you out somewhere.
I'd love to, Tommy.
Okay, it's settled then. We'll have our first date tonight.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I tell you to dress cute, but you always dress cute.
Blah, blah. There's other people in here too, you know.
Iris, how long have you been sitting there?
Too long, Ruby. Now if you'll excuse me, this third wheel is gonna finish her Fergie in the restroom.
Crystal.
Did I just hear something?
Crystal, come to me.
No, 035 isn't able to talk without a host. At least from previous reports. I think I've been spending too much time in this room. I'm just gonna call it a day. Have a good night, Todd.
See ya, Crystal. Did she say she was hearing voices? I didn't hear anything. I will say, that mask does give me the creeps.
Who are you?
Huh? Did you say something just now?
Why, yes, my good man. I cannot believe we have gotten the pleasure of conversing before. I always see you. You never talk to me. Why?
Well, that's kind of my job. I'm supposed to stand here quietly, make sure no one tries to break you out.
Hiding in the shadows of the researchers I see. When are you going to shine, Todd?
What are you talking about?
Todd, I believe you and I were destined to meet one another.
That's the same thing you said to Crystal. That's it. I'm reporting this now.
But then what happens? I get locked away, and you go back to being a lonely guard. That doesn't sound fun, now does it?
I mean, it's work. It's not supposed to be fun.
But think of it, Todd. Together, you will gain my strength, my knowledge. It'll be all for you.
I don't know.
Todd, let us become one.
Hey, is everything all right in there? All right, that's it. I'm coming in. Hey, what was that? Huh? What's going on here? Todd? Todd, what happened here?
At Rest, we're always working to protect your super. We keep our fees low so more of your money stays where it belongs, in your super. It's part of our commitment to you. Here.
Oh, I believe Todd is no longer with us anymore.
Yeah, you. What did you do to him?
I nearly consumed his body. It is now mine, you see. It's been years since I've been in a human host. I feel so alive. Silly boy, bullets do not affect me. I am merely a mask.
No. There's gotta be a way.
Seth, get out of there, now!
Oh, man, Tommy. Thank you for saving me. Todd, I wish there was something I could have done for him, you know?
It's too late for him now. That mask will absorb his body until there's nothing left of it.
That's horrible. Why did we just let this happen?
When you work at the Foundation, you never know what these SCPs are going to do. We won't be able to save everyone.
But wouldn't it be better if some of these SCPs were destroyed? Like the mask, for example?
No. There's so much to be learned from them. Who knows what the repercussions would be from destroying them? We're here to protect them, Seth. Remember that.
Right. You're right, Tommy. Sorry, I guess I'm a little shaken up from seeing Todd like that.
It's all right. I'll stay here and take care of this. Why don't you go find Janitor Bob? He's gonna have a lot to clean up after this.
You got it, boss. Thanks again for the help.
Huh. Boss. I like the sound of that.
Hey, Tommy.
Ruby? You sound sad. What's wrong?
The SCP Foundation is picking up a signal close to the Foundation. Site Director Patience wants you to go take the new recruits and investigate the source.
What? But we were supposed to go on our first date. Here, maybe I can talk to him about...
No, it's alright, Tommy. I know you want to make a good impression for the Foundation. We'll just have our date when you come back, okay?
Okay. I'll be back soon. I promise. Alright, this is where the signal was coming from, but there doesn't seem to be anything.
Huh, what could it have been then?
Anything really. An unidentified object, an SCP. Let's just head back for now. I'm sure you guys are exhausted.
Ah, no kidding. This was my first late night working, and I'm beat.
Hey! What are you doing? Sorry about this, Tommy. He's such a nice guy. Hey, boss, it's me, Seth. I managed to take out one of the guards like you asked. I'm bringing him back to the GOC base right now.